Hello and welcome to discussion today on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. On the show today, we are going to talk about the ongoing farmers' agitation against the agricultural reform laws. Now, in a bid to address the concerns raised by the protesting farmers, the government has agreed to discuss and consider some major points raised by the farmers about the three new laws, including on strengthening of the APMC, which is the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee Mandi system, tax parity with proposed private mandis, and freedom for farmers to approach higher courts for any kind of dispute resolution. Following the fourth round of talks with the farmers' groups on Thursday, the Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar also reiterated that procurement at MSP will continue. In fact, he also went on to assure that there is no threat to farmers' land from corporates and the government is ready to make it clearer. The next round of meeting between the both sides will take place on Saturday. The government is hopeful that the next round of talks will take the matter to a decisive stage and towards a final resolution. But several protesting groups of farmers have indicated that they want the government to repeal the three farm laws. So on discussion today, we will talk about the ongoing standoff, the various demands of the farmers, and of course, what is the best way forward towards a resolution on this matter. To discuss these aspects, we have with us two special guests joining us on the program. Let me introduce them to you. We are joined by Mr. S.K. Malhotra. He is Agriculture Commissioner, Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. Welcome to Rajya Sabha TV, sir. And Dr. M.J. Khan, he is Chairman, Indian Council of Food and Agriculture. Pleasure to have you on the show as well, sir. But before we begin the discussion, let's also listen in to what the Union Agriculture Minister said after the fourth round of talks with the farmers on Thursday.
किसान यूनियन और किसानों की चिंता है कि जो नया एक्ट आया है उससे एपीएमसी वो ख़त्म हो जाएगी। भारत सरकार इस बात पर विचार करेगी कि एपीएमसी सशक्त हो और एपीएमसी का उपयोग और बढ़े। जहां तक नए एक्ट का सवाल है उसमें एपीएमसी परिधि के बाहर प्राइवेट मंडियों का प्रावधान है, तो प्राइवेट मंडियां आएंगी, लेकिन प्राइवेट मंडी और जो एपीएमसी एक्ट के अंतर्गत बनी हुई मंडियां हैं उन दोनों में कर की समानता हो, और ये इस पर भी हम लोग विचार करेंगे। और साथ ही यह भी बात आई कि जब मंडी परिधि के बाहर ट्रेड होगा तो वो सिर्फ पैन कार्ड से ही होगा, तो पैन कार्ड तो आजकल किसी को भी मिल जाता है, तो ट्रेडर का रजिस्ट्रेशन होना चाहिए। तो ट्रेडर का रजिस्ट्रेशन हो, यह भी हम लोग निश्चित रूप से सुनिश्चित करेंगे। नए एक्ट में यह प्रावधान था कि अगर कोई विवाद होता है तो वो एसडीएम कोर्ट में जाएगा। यूनियन की चिंता है कि एसडीएम कोर्ट छोटा कोर्ट है और न्यायालय में उन्हें जाने की अनुमति होनी चाहिए। इस बात पर यूनियंस का काफ़ी बल था और इसलिए हम लोगों ने उस विषय को भी अलग से निकाला कि सरकार उस पर विचार करे कि एसडीएम कोर्ट रहे, न्यायालय रहे। इस दिशा में भी निश्चित रूप से हम लोग विचार करने के लिए पूरी तरह ओपन हैं। और साथ ही उन लोगों ने फराली के विषय में भी एक ऑर्डिनेंस है, उस पर भी उनकी शंका है, विद्युत एक्ट है, उस पर भी उनकी शंका है। इस दिशा में भी बातचीत की थी, तो इसमें भी सरकार पूरी तरह विचार करने के लिए ओपन है। और एक बात और चलाई जा रही है कि नए कानून के वजह से छोटे किसान की जो ज़मीन है उसको बड़े लोग हथिया लेंगे। वैसे तो एक्ट के जो प्रावधान हैं उसमें किसान को पूरी तरह सुरक्षा प्रदान की गई है। कहीं से लेकर कहीं तक कोई भी किसान की ज़मीन की लिखा पढ़ी नहीं कर सकता है। इस बात का प्रावधान एक्ट में ही है, लेकिन फिर भी लोगों की शंका है, तो शंका का निवारण करने के लिए सरकार तैयार है। एमएसपी के मामले में लोग शंका की दृष्टि से देखते हैं, लेकिन मैं फिर यह कहना चाहता हूं कि एमएसपी चल रही थी, एमएसपी चल रही है, आने वाले कल में भी चलती रहेगी। इसकी आश्वस्ति भी हम किसान भाइयों को दिलाएंगे।
Okay, so the government, as you heard, the Union Agriculture Minister, the government has agreed to discuss and consider several of the concerns raised by the protesting farmers, and hopefully there will be a resolution to this whole standoff when both the sides meet on Saturday. But taking the discussion forward, let's try and understand which are the key issues that remain contentious even now. Let's begin with Mr. S.K. Malhotra. Sir, of the three laws, what we've understood until now is much of the opposition really is towards the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act. So which are the contentious provisions in this particular law which the farmers want the government to take back?
Well, first we need to understand that what this law has the provisions. The most important thing is that this new legislation will create an ecosystem where the farmers and traders will enjoy freedom of choice of sale and purchase of agri-produce. So it's an historic decision which was taken because it's an important, I should say, a bill which has been considered and which has been passed. And the basic objective is to promote barrier-free intertrade, intra-state trade and commerce outside the physical premises of the markets. And here farmers will not be charged any kind of cess, and then there will not be any kind of levy for the sale of their produce. So their transport cost will also reduce. So here farmer shall be having a freedom that the produce he could sell at the farm gate level. That's why transportation cost will be reduced. So here there are so many misconceptions which are now happening and which we are hearing. These all are misconceptions, I should say. These all are the myths which are now coming. But there is no concern directly here because this bill which has been passed, several doubts have been raised, particularly for MSP if we speak about. But MSP again, you should see that MSP is still continuing and it will continue.
Yes.
And MSP will continue because government has to procure food because India is the first country in the world which has enacted the Food Security Act, Food Security Act, where we need to ensure the food to all the population. So considering that point, government will have to purchase the food. From where they will purchase? So government is purchasing from the farmers. So through procurement is happening and through public distribution system that food is also made available. So here a lot of procurement is happening for rice and as well as for wheat. If you take recent example, just 2 days back figures have come to me. About 324 lakh metric ton of the rice has been procured. And out of this, you will find that here a big quantity has come from Punjab and Haryana. More than 70%, about 80%, it has come from these two states.
So, sir, I mean, we've been hearing the Prime Minister, we've been hearing the Union Agriculture Minister. The laws have been passed. It's been quite a few months now, and we've heard from the highest levels assurances coming in that MSP, there will be no change in the MSP system, and this will continue. Why still are the farmers feeling threatened? Why has the government still not been able to convince them that the system is for their benefit?
Yes, now you see, if we go through the data, farmers will automatically understand that yes, MSP procurement is happening, government is purchasing on procurement, and 70%, about 85% of the procurement has been done in Punjab, 70% procurement has been done in Haryana. So here now procurement is happening and it is being purchased at MSP. So government fixes the MSP twice in a year during the onset of Rabi season as well as Kharif. On the onset of Kharif season, MSP is declared. And another thing I would like to mention that in the last few years, the MSP has been raised to 70%. So if it has been raised, it means it itself indicates that now this is for the benefit of the farmers only. So here, through these bills, farmers, they have been empowered. And the basic objective is that farmer should get the more income. How we can increase the income of the farmer? It is a step towards this. that farmer, he should get more realization of his efforts.
Okay. So
because
let
he
me
should
take
get the
that
more-
point to Dr. Khan. Mr. Malhotra says that MSP is there to continue. It's in fact benefited the farmers. So where exactly does the doubt lie, sir? Why are the farmers still concerned?
Let me thank you. Let me thank you, Rajya Sabha TV, for hosting this discussion at a very crucial time. And tomorrow, the third round of meeting between the farmer leaders and the government is going to take place, and a lot of expectations about that.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Malhotra, for putting things straight and in perspective. There is no doubt that there is a complete clarity from the top level that MSP will continue, is continuing, and had continued so far. In fact, after the passage of these three acts, the purchase under MSP have gone up. It is 9 million tons plus, which is, 90 million tons plus that have been procured. It is a record. Now, why the doubts have created? In fact, the wish was that farmers will be celebrating. The reality is they are demonstrating. So where things have gone wrong, I would say that dialogue deficit.
Okay.
Farmers should have been consulted before the ordinances were effected, or they should have been at least consulted after that or before the legislations were tabled in the House. So this gap in dialogue with the farmers led to the apprehensions. So there is less in reality against the farmers. Actually, there is nothing in totality that will unleash the potential of the agriculture markets, something which we have been demanding for a long time. In fact, expert groups, studies after studies, many expert groups in the last 25 years that have been constituted and consulted, including few groups that I have been part of. So we have been consistently demanding that the markets need reforms. The farmers need choices. Farmers need investment. There is infrastructure requirement. Trade need to open up in order to benefit primarily the primary stakeholder, that is farmer. So with all the advantage that these three legislations promise, why the farmers are striking now or on the streets protesting? Somewhere the lack of communication, the engagement, the dialogue deficit resulted into more apprehensions, fueled by the expected loss of business by certain stakeholders. To name straight away the Aratiyas, especially in Punjab, whose business stakes who were thriving on the cost of the farmers, they are apprehending losing that business. So they are the primary fueler of these protests. Now farmers somehow taken it to their, now it has become a matter of ego. So last 2 months when there have been engagement, in all these 6 engagements with the farmers have taken place, 3 informally and 3 formally. Tomorrow will be the 7th round. So in that, from government side, no solid delivery has happened or assurance of promise happened. Yesterday, in fact, finally the 2 ministers have been able to list down all the objections of the farmers, and there is a positive stand being articulated on that. But some of the demands which farmers have put forth, if I am farmers advocate, I would say these are misplaced. For
example, I'll come to the second one. The second most contentious issue that has been put forward by the farmers is that of contract farming. So help us understand, when contract farming has been made voluntary and it is largely for crops that are not amenable to trading in regular APMC mandis, so where is the problem? What is the doubt that the farmers have in particular when we talk about contract farming?
The name of the bill is Farmer Empowerment and Protection, Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill. So name itself is clear that now this bill will empower the farmer, it will protect the farmer, and it will be a kind of agreement which will provide a kind of price assurance to the farmer. Price assurance will be there. So considering that point, this new legislation has been enacted, and this will engage not only cultivation, but also he will have a contact with the processors, wholesalers, aggregators, wholesalers, then large retailers, exporters. So they will get a kind of level playing field where a kind of price assurance will be there, because farmer is always in risk. Whenever he goes and takes his produce to the market, he will sometimes will not get the assured price. So a contract farming is again a kind of provision. And this is not a new provision, I will say.
Yes, precisely. It's been there since several years.
And you take example, this, I should say, tomato puree. Farmers, they are producing potato chips, for chips making, already contact farming is happening. Then onion white, that flakes are now being prepared, turmeric is produced, spices are produced. So there are several examples. Considering the success story of those examples, this bill has been brought, so that farmers, they should get more and more profit. So no new avenues will appear, and here the risk will also be minimized, and farmers' income will be more. And here the cost of the marketing, that will also be reduced. So then again, the most important thing is that here the dispute resolution mechanism is very strong. If you have read the news, recent news which appeared from Maharashtra, that one of the farmer, he was not getting the price to his produce, and he utilized this bill, and immediately within 3 days he got the price from the trader. Trader was just he was not paying his dues, but he immediately went to the SPM, and he was asked, and he got the all dues which were pending to him. So this is a kind of benefit. So many success stories are now coming. Farmers, they are taking benefit of such new laws.
Okay, Dr. Khan, then why is there fear among the farmers that the corporates will usurp their land? How to address this particular fear? Of course, the government has agreed to discuss and consider, but how can this particular fear be addressed of the farmers?
See, there is one element or one provision which is giving them the solid reason for apprehensions. That is, there is a tax inside the mandi and there is a no tax outside mandi. So farmers' apprehension is that over a period of time, since there will be choices and the same rates will be applicable outside also, so slowly farmers will be selling outside more, less inside the mandis. Therefore, over a period of time, mandis might get into losses, resulting into state governments taking decisions, let us disinvest or hand it over to the private. So that might lead to monopolization. So this is one real apprehension that farmers privately also, and yesterday in the meeting also, they brought up this issue. So that government has agreed. In fact, if you had heard of the agriculture minister, he listed this as one of the important points, that there should be parity. Either no tax inside mandi or there is tax outside mandi as well. This is one apprehension. Second apprehension has been that, again, I connect it what I started talking about, that government, instead of initially engaging with the farmers, it chose to engage with the chambers. So the message went to the farmers was that these bills are actually for the benefit of the industry, and therefore the government is explaining the benefits to the industry instead of explaining to the farmers. By the time farmers started engaging with the government, some role I also played in that. It was little late, but it was not that late. As long as the protest sites were deep inside the Punjab or somewhere else, the pressure on the government was not that. Now the protest site having shifted to Delhi and NCR, the pressure is building up, and the farmers are, taking tougher and tougher stand on that. For example, just an hour back, the message that has come from the farmers' organization is that they are toughening their stand for tomorrow. So now it is time. Earlier, instead of government continue explaining the benefits about the three legislations, it should have accepted one or two demands. Now I have articulated, before the meeting, I sent the note to all the three key ministers that these are the two demands that government should look at, favorably accepting that. And there is nothing in terms of cost on the government. That is giving some sort of written statement, recognition to continuation of MSP where the government is clear. So once the government is clear and assurances are absolutely clear, let it be put into written form.
But sir, will a written assurance pacify the farmers? Because they have been demanding a separate law for it.
No, I think the things will work if some kind of written assurance is given. It is the assurance translated into written form. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
So there is no cost involved in that. The second is that MSP to be enforced on the trade as well. The cost of which is coming to rupees 30,000 crores only annually, that I will detail you in the next round. So that government can very well accept. The advantage of that seems to be that government may not be burdened with more and more purchaser under MSP, because if the options are created for the trade, then trade will also pick up under the MSP price itself large quantities. So that will reduce the overall cost on the government. So I think that's a happy situation. Government may tomorrow go ahead with the acceptance of some sort of demand that farmers have been raising.
Okay. Mr. Malhotra, when he says that, the farmers have decided to sort of toughen their stand, and that's what's been suggested by the reports, how much of it do you think the government can negotiate?
Yes, I think here there is no question of any negotiation, but only point is that we need to make aware about the benefits of these bills to the farmers, because it's a step of the government where a kind of democratization of the farming sector is taking place. So that is the point. We need to just tell that yes, it will give a kind of freedom to the farmer, and it will give a choice to sell the crop to anyone, anywhere. And if he wants to earn more profit, farmer, if he wants to earn more profit, he shall be having more revenues with the traders and as well as to the big companies. If he wants to do the trading, he can do this. And then access of the new technology will also be there. Then farmer will start thinking on several areas that at the global level what is happening, that we need to produce safe food, we need to have a good agriculture practices, access to the new technologies, producing more and more from the same unit area, and here his income will be increased. So these all are the points from which I think there is a need to that we need to make aware, and the government is also trying its best, and we are also trying our best to make them aware. So here the most important point is that here the farmers will have full power to have a contract, or he can fix a sale price. He shall be having a freedom. He will be the empowered person, because he has put all his efforts, so he should decide the price. So here this is a kind of freedom which has been given to the farmer. So here small farmers will also get benefit, because government has started 10,000 FPOs now are being made. Small farmers, they will also be the part of it, and definitely these all things will give a kind of straight benefit to the farmers, and there will not be any kind of I should say disadvantage to the farmer. So this is a point which I wanted to mention here.
Okay, Mr. Khan, spreading awareness, making farmers aware of their benefits is, of course, very, very important. But as you pointed out that, initially there was a dialogue deficit. The farmers felt they were left out. They were not consulted enough. Now, after multiple rounds of talks and the government having agreed to consider and discuss several of their contentious issues that have been raised by the farmers' groups, how hopeful are you of a resolution after Saturday's talks?
See, now the stage is beyond being explained the benefits of the three legislations, because that phase is long gone by. So today the protesting farmers, if we try to explain them the benefits, they become more aggressive and angry.
Okay.
So that what Dr. Malhotra says is applicable to non-protesting farmers, because they must see the benefits of these legislations. And I'm sure that what Agriculture Commissioner is saying is correct. Three legislations put together will definitely empower the farmers and improve their income.
So what you suggest, sir, is the best way forward to end this standoff?
The issue is the current crisis, how to deal with that. Now, if the pill is bitter, the patient is not swallowing it, so all the benefits with that pill will not work. So today, how to administer that, which means how to resolve this issue, and then slowly the farmers will realize that these are very beneficial acts. So tomorrow, I think these two suggestions that I have been making, the other two governments seems to be ready to accept. That is the tax parity and also taking it above the SDM code. This second suggestion of the farmers is absolutely misplaced. Why? If the matters are to be decided by SDM code, which this is incorporated in the bill, then farmers are benefited. They will have nearest location to get their grievances redressed.
And also the procedure will be faster.
They can put some pressure on the SDM to favorably resolve. Once it goes to the court, then the quality of advocate which corporates can afford, that farmer will be at a disadvantage. I do not know who has guided them to ask for, taking it away from SDM to a court of law where the farmers will face more. So therefore, at least if they are demanding, government should lose nothing. There is a fine enough, good enough. We are accepting it. The price parity, Agriculture Minister has indicated that, okay. So the other two also, some sort of written statement is possible. I don't think there should be any problem. Why? Because there is a consistency of government stand on that. We are for MSP. It was there, it will be there. So let it be in written form. The last thing is that trade to pay, buy on the same price, which is MSP applicable on the trade. I think we have worked out the detailed costing on that. What is going to cost to the trade? The margins available between seller and the buyer. So trade matures that, so that cost of 30,000 crores will not lead to any inflationary trends. Will very well be taken care of. So I think way forward seems to be clear. Let us see some flexibility on both parts tomorrow.
All right. So with that valuable suggestion coming in from Dr. Khan, it's time for me to wrap up this edition of Discussion Today. Thank you to both my guests for joining us on this edition of Discussion Today and putting things into perspective for us. Pleasure having you on the program. So that's it from us on Discussion Today. We're all hopeful that a resolution to this standoff will come very soon and the situation will be back to normal. On that note, I'll call it a wrap on Discussion Today. You can also watch our program on YouTube and send us your feedback and suggestions as well. Thank you very much for your time.